Welcome to the Our Vision Caribbean and Latino Filmmaker Podcast, hosted by Charles Aline and Dr. Christopher C. Odom. On this episode, we speak with Haitian Mediamaker Jean-Philippe R. Beaulieu. We discuss his journey from Haiti to Hollywood and how your best day as a media maker always has been, always is, and always will be today. The most important ingredient for success is uniquely you. This episode is sponsored by the Our Vision Caribbean and Latino Film Festival, which is dedicated to ensuring that Caribbean and Latino filmmakers have a voice that's heard and a wide audience to showcase their work. The Our Vision Caribbean and Latino Film Festival is the only combined Caribbean and Latino film festival that is Oscar qualifying for short films. Each year, Our Vision will screen the winners of the short film categories live in theaters on both coasts for 1 week as part of the requirements for Oscar consideration. Click the link in our profile now to submit your film to the next Our Vision Caribbean and Latino Film Festival to share your work, reach your audience, and turn your dreams into reality.
Okay, welcome to the Our Vision Caribbean Latino Film Festival podcast. And today we have a great artist. Again, this podcast has been really taking off. People love the podcast. And today we have a really great person that we'd like to talk to. He's very heavily into the Haitian community and what's going on in the Haitian American community. John, go ahead and introduce yourself.
My name is Jean-Philippe Beaulieu. I'm Haitian. Even though I've been in America 40 years and I'm a legal professional, but I still carry my green card because that's who I am. Everyone is telling me, when are you going to become American? I go, why should I, man? I'm here, and But anyways, I've been in Southern California now for the past 27 to 30 years. I'm in real estate, been there since after college. I'm also a paralegal. And the past 7 years, I've been involved in the world of media. Actually, that's how I met with Charlie. And first, I want to, greet you guys. So we have John and Charles, and thanking you, for giving me these opportunities to show myself to your podcast and, your crowd. And it's a great honor for me, to be on this show.
Good, John. I'm glad to have you here. This podcast is about community. And so along with talking with artists, we also want to talk with people who's doing stuff in the community, who's about making the Haitian American community better, making the Caribbean community better, making the Latino community better. So we're glad to have you on here. And we're glad to have the world hear what you have to say. So this is what this podcast is all about. And what I want to get started, let's start about, you got into media like 7 years ago. Like, why did you want to get into media? What was so great about media that you wanted to get into it?
Well, pretty much coming from the family that I come from, which was heavily involved. My dad was a career diplomat. And I'm a public speaker. I speak my mind. I have no inhibition, no matter what crowd. And I'm always very vocal. So watching now with the advent of media being accessible to not just the majors and YouTube, and I'm seeing so many different shows, from the Caribbean, but here in California, at the time, there wasn't so many. So what happened one day, I was in LA at a Jamaican restaurant, and I was speaking with one of the owners. Actually, that was Stone's Market. And one of the Jamaican guy, I guess, was a media. And he heard me speaking with him, and we were discussing a lot of varieties of things. And the World Cup was about to start. That was the 2013, World Cup. And he was going to start here in Los Angeles. And what happened is, he approached me we started talking, and he says, I'm looking for someone to report at the World Cup. Would you be interested? We are Jamaican, but you Haitian, we all the same people. So I said, no kidding. I said, okay, fine. A month later, he called me. He got all of the press credentials. We sent our stuff. And I was able to join Reggae Jam Television, at the World Cup, at the Rose Bowl. And that's where it started. While there, I got to meet a plethora of people from the media, Univision, and so many people. I got that exposure, and I think I found my drug and stuff. So actually, one of the things that happened at the time, the president of FIFA, of the CONCACAF, was from the Cayman Island. A black guy. First time FIFA had a black president. I mean, well, not FIFA, CONCACAF president, which is a governing member of FIFA. And at the press conference, after he was done, as bold as I am, he had his people and they were ushering him out. And something told me, you know what, JP, do you? I walked right up to him and I introduced myself, told him I'm from Haiti, and he stopped right on his spot. His assistant were trying to put me aside. He told them, no, I want to talk to him. The guy from Univision was looking because they said no interviews, because they have to move on at the beginning of the ceremonies and stuff. And everybody pulled back. And that's when you learn, when you got power, you dictate. And everybody pulled back, and he spent 5 minutes with me and stuff. And we have pictures to document, so I can send you guys some of the stuff. So probably you can use that. And that was Jeffrey Webb. And from there, I worked the stadium. We were in the locker room. We were as the people who are coming out the press room. And I told the camera guy, listen, follow me, follow my lead. And then I'm going to start, interviewing the people that I think should be interviewed, because of this is an opportunity. The World Cup for CONCACAF, the Gold Cup, we just finished last week and stuff. But for us, that was 2013. So when I got home, I was showing the tape, and a week later, and my whole family and friends, they said, you know what, Jean-Philippe, this is you, man. You should look into this more seriously. But, being a banker, real estate, mortgage banking, that's what I did for a long, long time. And paralegal, coming from a family of intellectual and stuff. I love to speak, but I never saw myself on the media side. So I started doing my research. And from there, I saw, wait a minute, we don't have anyone out here doing that. And I have the contact both from friends and family. And I started doing red carpets, the Hollywood Carnival. I've been in media, I accepted from them now 7 years too. As soon as I found them, I sent my credential, I got accepted. So every year I've been covering them, and I've covered a plethora of stuff. And my mom, before she passed, I remember 3-4 months prior, we were discussing, and I was showing when I'll go to her place, with my dad, and I'm showing him, hey, this is what I did. I got to meet this big actor, this producer. And she sat there, she looked at it, she looked at my dad, and she said, you know what, son, this is you. If you drop everything you've done all your life, you pursue this, you may be surprised, because it looked like, you were natural. She even asked me, how'd you come up with the question? And I said, I didn't even know the people, I just ad-lib. And apparently for the 3 minutes, I guess I was on point and stuff. And I think University of YouTube helped me, because from that point on, that's what I tell people. I got probably 7 PhDs from YouTube University. And now I'm a videographer, photographer. Wait till you guys see what I'm taking this on and stuff, And that's how I got involved.
Jean-Philippe, man, that's a great story. I love it. It was a great story. People out there in podcast land, listen to John. Persistence never fails. I'm always going to say that. Being in the right place, right time, and not being afraid. That's what that piece that John just told us. Great story, John.
Charles, I wanted to ask, Jean, who were some of the biggest celebrities or most interesting people that you've had the opportunity to interview?
Pretty much, I remember at the Pan-African Film Festival, I got to meet the chairman, because I think this is iconic for African American to have their own prominent film festival. And I've been covering it also that many of time. I've interviewed Kobe Jones, that's for soccer, that was at the World Cup. Jeffrey Webb, from FIFA. And coincidentally, 2 years later, he gets arrested because of the big FIFA corruption thing. So when I show people, oh man, I know these guys, people thought I was bluffing. Then here I have the pictures and the interviews. And for Hollywood, I have to give credit to my cousin. She's one of the biggest, most influential producer right now in Hollywood. She produced, The Best Man, which is the last big icon that came out in December. She is not only family, but through her, I get to meet so many prominent people. And right now I'm out of sight for some of the name, but I've introduced quite a bit from red carpets and stuff. I've had people whom at the red carpet, they saw the Haiti engage and they came up. They are not Haitian and stuff, and they wanted to be part of it. And other people who were there are rushing to see if they can get an interview with them. But I guess it's my Haitian voodoo, the spirits are with me. Because whenever I walk into a room, for some reason, I get access,
Well, since you mentioned the Pan-African Film Festival in Los Angeles, I want to make sure that I gave them a plug. Definitely one of the most important film festivals for people of color. It's also an art festival. I myself have screened at the Pan-African Film Festival. We got 55,000 hits on our website from screening at that festival. And for those of you listening, you definitely want to submit to the Pan-African Film Festival in Los Angeles. Babu, that's the festival director. Definitely a place you want to submit. Glad you had the opportunity to go there and meet him.
Yes. Oh, yeah. And this year we just finished 3 months ago. We had a lady from Canada. She did this documentary called Africa. She's showing you the origination of mankind. And right now he's still doing festival, and I can't wait till everyone can see this. She did it through the Senegalese, intellectual and Professor Diop's university. I've met Professor Kassé, which I did an extensive interview with him, which is going to be surprising to show people that we are the indigenous people, mankind, from the gods. Everyone else is a derivation, colors, cultures, and all those things. And she did it so well with backing, facts, and stuff. And that was at this Pan-African Film Festival. So we spent 3-4 days over there and stuff. And but yeah, like I said, you're right. We are doing a lot of things. And I think one other thing of what we do, it's so vital, and now it's possible because, as you know, back in the day, to do media, you needed money, big money. Now with the technology, if you have a few $1,000s and you do your homework, you'll have enough equipment and the know-how to do this and have professional level work. And we should take advantage of that and stop going from the narrative of the Anglo-white European world and start telling our own story. Actually, in doing this media stuff, one of the key points that I want to highlight, they have this Jewish guy that I met at the Holocaust Museum, and he was a children of the Holocaust with his sign and everything. And he did this documentary, a movie of his family and his life from the Holocaust to America. And he was in about his 80s at the time. So again, being bold as I am, after I watched the film, he did his speaking stuff. I walked my way in the room, introduced myself, told him who I am, from Haiti. I always say that, from Haiti. And for some reason, when I say that, people stop, and they talk to me. And so we got to talking. As we were walking to the parking lot, another coincidence, he was right behind me. Our car was parked not too far from each other. So we exchanged numbers, and I asked him, you know what? I've been thinking about making a film about the true Haitian history, not the European version. And he told me, he said, son, I'm going to tell you something. No, I had asked him, can he help me? And he says, I can give you all the assistance you need, but you are the only one who can tell the story of your people, not me, not who's been doing it. And driving home, I thought about it. And that's when I realized that's our problem. We are allowing others to tell our story. We should be our own storyteller because we know the real facts. And those are the things that give me very interesting into this media.
Absolutely, absolutely. I wholeheartedly agree with you. You talk about you seem to have a lot of people who help you along the way.
Este episodio está patrocinado por el Festival de Cine Latino y Caribeño Our Vision, que se dedica a garantizar que los cineastas latinos y caribeños tengan una voz que se escuche y una amplia audiencia para mostrar su trabajo. El Festival de Cine Latino y Caribeño Our Vision es el único festival de cine latino y caribeño combinado que califica para los Oscar a los cortometrajes. Cada año, Our Vision proyectará a los ganadores de las categorías de cortometrajes en vivo en los cines en ambas costas durante una semana como parte de los requisitos para la consideración del Oscar. Haga clic en el enlace en nuestro perfil ahora para enviar su película al próximo Festival de Cine Latino y Caribeño Our Vision para compartir su trabajo, llegar a su audiencia y convertir sus sueños en realidad.
Look at Jekyll. That's another inspiration for me. Jekyll, from the Haitian Film Festival here. And you see the Haitian International Film Festival, and I've been covering him from day one. Now this is going to be the 8th year next month. And you're looking at all of what's possible, and it cannot help but inspire people. And that's where I get my drive. And and I hope my audacity, some people say, which I always, when someone tells me, DJP, you got a lot of audacity, that's the biggest compliment you can make me, because that means I'm doing right, because and that's it, and that's where I find it. I look at the people who trailblaze the road ahead of me, and I try my best to follow on that road and see what happens.
That's great, man. I love that she's giving you inspiration. I love that you're getting inspiration from Jakir Constance, the founder of the Haitian International Film Festival. Great guy. What I want to transition to right now is, let's talk about, I know you have a thing called Coast to Coast. Am I correct? Where you guys have
a studio.
Yeah, studio where you guys have actors come in and teach acting, right? Let's talk about how that gets started and where you at with that today.
Okay, Coast to Coast Film Studio started by Gia Salazar. She's a broker realtor out of Miami, and her probably in her mid-40s now, but apparently her passion was to be an actress. But her business, like me, is real estate. She has her office in Miami, and now she has an office here in California. So 3 years ago, she moved here with her child. She's a single mother, and decided she's going to give Hollywood a shot. Her family went crazy. She's already well established in South Florida, very successful. You dropping everything to come for Hollywood. And that was her passion. So I met her through another independent filmmaker, which is Haitian also, Woman Simon, Lucky Strike Film. And we did a few films together because I'm always playing cameos and stuff, because I love that work. I've always played cameo, in most of his stuff that he does. I've been backing him also for the past 7 years since I got involved and stuff. And with Gia now, she decided to also get a broker's license here. So in order to have a broker's license, you need to have an office space. But remember, she bought a house here in Hollywood. She has her office in Miami, so she was commuting every month back and forth because she has, I think, 6 or 7 agents and plethora of other colleagues. So she decided to get a location that can double that, because we've been talking about a lot of stuff. And one day she called me. She said, guess what, Jean-Philippe? We have a studio. And I go, studio? Man, there's so many of those because, I got to be seen now. Every other place now, there's a studio and stuff. And she said, come on down. And I went over there, right there on Santa Monica Boulevard, in Hollywood, by a block from the Hollywood Cemetery. And I said, but a studio, because next door, the whole block have studios and stuff, which is a new thing now in Hollywood. Even houses, single family residents are being converted into movie sets now, permanently, all over, from mansions down to average apartment, And so I said, okay. She said, no, you have to understand what I figured, since I need to have an office space to legitimize my broker's license here. Why don't we do a studio? You're doing Haiti Engage and you're doing all of this stuff. You said you have a podcast you want to do. So maybe I can do the same thing too. And anyways, I'm an entrepreneur. So I went ahead and got it. That's how it started. That was last November. Another thing with her, she joined a lot of different groups, marketing groups, PR firms. So she get to go to a lot of red carpet. She get to meet a lot of stars. And the past February, she said, we're going to do acting classes. And I said, acting classes? Who's going to do them? No, we're going to call it celebrity acting classes. Truly enough, she's bringing on Tom Sizemore, actually, our claim to fame today, among others. Tom Sizemore, Private Ryan, very iconic actor in Hollywood for over 30 years, his last job was with Coast to Coast Film Studio, as an actor, because what we do once a month, we get a celebrity to do 2-day classes from 8 to 12 p.m. on a weekday, and we advertise it, and we get a lot of people. Of course, we're thinking because of the celebrity, so because we're not known. We are John Doe's in Hollywood, and a plethora of 1 million people. And student comes in. A month ago, we had Eric Robert and his wife. The wife is a casting director, so she did 1 day, and Eric did the second day. We have Tyler Gallant, which is the Michael Cherkoff, protege. And Michael Cherkoff is one of the iconic acting coach in Hollywood. You have Denzel Washington, Leonardo DiCaprio, to name a few that are from his school and stuff. And Tyler Gallant is one of his students, and now his protege, who is doing classes with us also now. And he likes the way we do things. And he says, you know what? I think I'm going to attach myself with you guys and stuff. And, so every month we have one celebrity, actor who comes in. We have Robert Richard, young African-American guy, did quite a bit, over 25 years in the industry. Actually, he was our first, who started with us. So whenever he's not busy shooting something, if he's available, he comes around and teach classes. So we get named people, we've been lucky, and I guess the gods are with us, and so this is what we're doing. So now, the past month, seriously, she surprised me again. Wow. I've been talking about my podcast and more, and I said, okay, I got to do this. I got to find location, because as we do now, as you see, you either do it at home or you do the Zoom like you guys are doing. But since I interview people, on red carpet, and I wanted to do a sit-down show. From there, she heard me, and next thing I know, she called me again out of the blue. Guess what, Jean-Philippe? I went and bought furniture, man. We're going to do sets and stuff like that. And went down there a week later. She bought 6 or 7 different sets of furnishing and stuff like that. And I said, why you did all of this, man? All we need is just 2 chairs and stuff. She goes, no, it didn't cost that much, man. I got them for cheap and stuff. So we started setting that up. Actually, last night, we were there till midnight, doing the final touch, and everything. So now we have a full-on woman. I sent you the pictures and stuff. We have, green room, makeup room, sound booth for voiceover, full-on kitchen, full-on bathroom and stuff like that. And we're going to start coming and advertise it to people. We're going to give you a location to come and shoot your podcast. We'll have the set. We have actually the studio. You can have access to our furnishing, or you bring your own and stuff. And this is our new venture now. And it seems to me the world of podcasting is becoming it now. Every other person that I know is either working toward a podcast or has a podcast on YouTube and stuff, and the different, medias that will handle it. So again, I'm an entrepreneur by heart, and I'm not afraid to touch anything. And, and I think with her, it's a perfect partnership because in a way she's like me. We are in real estate, and people always said, why are you guys doing in this Hollywood? I thought you guys are in real estate. Guess what? We here, man. Watch out.
That was really inspirational. I think I want to be in real estate and then go into acting. I think what I'm getting from you is like first go into real estate, then go into the movie business.
Make your money first.
Yes. But funny thing today, the money is not really much because of the technology. And you're able to buy, like with me right now, I call myself, I have a movie studio in the trunk of my car. You hire me, I have lights, sound, and good stuff. Camera, I have video switchers. I saw Charlie, he knows some of my equipment. And like I said, I'm air mobile. I can come to your location, set up, or you can rent my studio and do your podcast there.
Yeah, for people who think that, the industry is trying to keep me down, my skin color is trying to keep me down. 30 or 40 years ago, if you wanted to get your message out to an audience, you needed an FCC license and millions of dollars. Now, all you need is this. And I can push a button and I can broadcast to the entire world. And that's it. I can be a studio. I can be a network in a matter of seconds. It's amazing.
And the beauty is you are instantly global. The world can see you, and you didn't even spend $20. That's why, to me, like I was talking to my brother the other day, and I told him, because now I'm in my 60s now, so the kids are so focused with tablets and their phone, they don't speak anymore. And I was telling my brother, the other day that you see the advent of cellular technology and the new technology, it's worse than an atomic bomb. Because when we look at our kids now, no matter how old they are, out of college, you go to dinner, you see young couples sitting at the table supposed to have dinner, and you think they'll be talking to each other. No, they each have their phone and they're testing. And you're wondering, what the heck is this? And that's the power of this little mechanism that we call a cellular phone and stuff, that you can do so much now. It's your computer. And my real estate business right now as a property manager, we are, anywhere I am in the world, I can double check with an application what's going on. It's amazing. And to me, I think for the media or the film world or the arts period, if someone wants to get involved into it, do not think it's rocket science anymore. Just go to university or YouTube a few nights and you will be surprised what you can do.
That's amazing.
Before we forget, Jean, for someone who's interested in acting or sharpening their skills, or for someone who actually wants an actual studio that they can go to and podcast from, how do they get in touch with you at Coast to Coast Studios?
They can go actually on my social media. Coast to Coast Studio has a bracket, or you can get through Beaulieu Media, my last name, and I'm sure you guys will put that on the edit. Or they can call me at my number, 951-847-2221. And like I said, I'll be more than happy to meet with them and assist you on whatever. It's your vision, and I'm just there to they assist you and bring it to life.
That's incredible, man. I this has been really an inspirational podcast. I like that, you sort of had like a second career. This is like your second career, so to speak. You did your stuff in real estate and you said, you know what? Let me give media a try. I think for everyone who's listening, you're never too young to start or you're never too old to start. There's no
That's
perfect
the beauty.
there's no perfect time. It's the only time that you can start, right? You can't look for like the perfect time to start. You just need to start. That's what I'm trying to say. You just need to start. There's no real perfect time to start, regardless of if you're old or young. If it's in your heart, that's what you want to do. And that's what I get from you today. You have a love for this, and that's really, and it's coming from the heart, and that's what I love. And I think your people that's listening to this is going to feel that coming true, and they're going to take it to heart, which is really good. And I truly appreciate you coming on the show and sharing your experience with us. Before you leave, do you want to give any inspirational last words before we wrap this podcast up? Because it's been really great, and having you on here has been a really pleasure.
Okay, to me, like I said, you come a time at a crossroad in your life where I think my best days are behind me, so they say, but I think I'm inventing a new day every day. So to me, my main focus these days, and I'll admit I worry a lot, is the new generation coming up. The world is moving very fast. A lot of them are not equipped mentally to affront the speed that this world is moving. Like when I talk to these college kids, like I have my nephews and nieces now coming out of college the past 5 years. And like I tell them, you got a piece of paper, but guess what? You have to make the value for that paper. The paper does not give you value because everybody has it now. And you're not only dealing with this country, you now are competing for every position with the world. So to me, I want to speak to that generation. I think I've been blessed. I'm alive. I'm not sick. I look younger than most of them young kids, so I'm told. That's how I'm putting my gray beard so I can make the difference, but it doesn't matter, according to them. And I just want them to find, like I was telling most of the kids that I meet today, I call them kids, but they out of college, they're in their early 20s. What I always tell them before I depart is find your passion and then go to school. Sometimes a lot of our kids lately are coming out of college heavily indebted and with a degree that pretty much, may not be valuable because technology is changing the world now. So they get very depressed, 24, 25. I remember when I was that age, why you got to be depressed about, man? This is the world. Hit it. And I understand them. Here they are coming out of college with over $100,000 in student loan. That's $1,000 a month. I have 5 nephews and nieces, coming out with this kind of debt. And of course, young adult, they want to live by themselves. They don't want to come back home. And they're realizing they can afford it. And some of them question, why did I did all this sacrifice for? Like I have some of the kids that I speak to, they say, Jean-Phillipe, I never got into trouble. I went to school, got out of college at 22, 23. I didn't party. I wish I had done those things because here I am right now struggling. People are barely offering me $50,000 a year. I got $1,000 student loan and stuff. How can I pursue? So that's the reason why I hope I'm right. I think if you find what you like, then the Lord created 24 hours in a day. To me, it's irrelevant. They say you're supposed to sleep 8 hours. My family now is on top of me. I can't sleep no more than 4, no matter what. And it's how you organize it. But the key to that I would like to say to the new generation, find your passion. Like another word that I tell them, find something you will do for free. You're going to be successful at it. But don't focus on the money first. Focus on, do I like it? And you will be surprised. The money will come. And that's what I can tell them. But to hang in there, because a lot of them are getting very depressed. The world is changing fast. And I think it's our fault because we spoiled them too much. We gave our kids too much because we figured, hey, they're getting me good grades. So therefore, what the hell, anything you want. But the mistake we are finding out after the fact, oh, shoot, these guys can't cope outside. And so that's the reason why when I talk to the kids today, that's what I tell them. I said, look, find your passion. You have your degree. That's good because it says you have the discipline to accomplish. Now, no matter what the degree you got, put it in a drawer. Find what you yourself want to do. At the beginning, it's going to be a struggling. But if you're doing what you like, somehow the gods have a way of making things happen, in my opinion.
That's beautiful. I want to thank you again for coming on the show. And I want to thank the people who are listening to us, who's given us a listen. Thank you very much for tuning into this podcast. It really means a lot to me. It means a lot to Chris that we have loyal followers, listeners, and we appreciate everyone that listened to us and give us a listen. Again, we truly appreciate you tuning in every week. And thank you, John, for coming on the podcast. And I wish Coast to Coast Studios all the best. It sounds like, good things happening for you. And again, thank you for coming on the show. Have a great day.
I want to thank you guys. Thank you very much.
John, and I before we go into the sponsored ad, I'd like to add, based on the inspiration you gave us, no matter what time it is, the perfect time is always now. And there is no better time than today in your life. So all you need to succeed is you. And submit now to the Our Caribbean Latino in Film Festival to turn your dream into reality.
Absolutely.
Honor and a pleasure.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
This episode is sponsored by the Our Vision Caribbean and Latino Film Festival, which is dedicated to ensuring that Caribbean and Latino filmmakers have a voice that's heard and a wide audience to showcase their work. The Our Vision Caribbean and Latino Film Festival is the only combined Caribbean and Latino film festival that is Oscar qualifying for short films. Each year, Our Vision will screen the winners of the short film categories live in theaters on both coasts for 1 week as part of the requirements for Oscar consideration. Click the link in our profile now to submit your film to the next Our Vision Caribbean and Latino Film Festival to share your work, reach your audience, and turn your dreams into reality.